This is day 440 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor upcoming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing some race side tests. See if you give to race side test off. And I'll tell you about what happens if a person doesn't have enough wine to then drink after Havdalah, a kos in the meal or a kos at the end of the meal. If you know it's not going to have wine during the meal, and he knows it's not going to have wine for benching, it's clear he has to make a bracha immediately after making Havdalah. But if he thought he was going to have wine during the meal, or at the end of the meal, he has made a bracha. And then lo and behold, later on, it turned out he would not have a cup and did not drink during the Suda. He also benched without a cup. On this, the Beis Yosef wrote, those have to say have to make a bracha on the cup of Havdalah. It seems logical. The concept of Yesh Mishomer, why Yesh Mishomer? The Sheish Svalomani became in the Kaidim Hayasabash yellow because it's smart to say that since he thought he was going to have him, just now it changed. No matter, let's say, they came to a Baruch B'Shaito ad Birkas HaMazon, since in the end he didn't make a bracha until it came to Birkas HaMazon. Pocho Birkas HaMazon, but the Evan. The Birkas HaMazon works for him after the fact. So I might say that. Kamash Mil Yesh Mishomer the Gamachai Gavna Tzorch Everybody tells us that even in such a case, there are those who say you have to make a separate bracha achroina. He brings brackets here. I'm going to run Sivkon Yulav Shikshmidal Kosos, where we don't make a bracha achroina. Lovina, I don't stand on Zel Kiddush, because they're like Kiddush and they're integral to the meal. Shvasa Tasivkon Gimel, Tasivkon Yod Yesh Eza Toyil Satfus. Okay, Baduk. There's some mistakes in the Taz. The Mishnah Berurah writes that the Magen Avraham Pruslan Rosh, not to make such a chiluk, and the Gra holds like Magen Avraham, and if he didn't make a bracha before the meal, he shouldn't make up the bracha afterwards. Biur Halacha says he was mavdi within the meal. It's possible everybody holds he doesn't have to make a bracha achrona, and because the Moshe exempts him. So obviously, if brachas lahakal, you would not make a bracha achrona on the wine. Again, if you made Havdalah before the meal, and thought you were going to have wine during the meal or after the meal, until you did not, then you with the Eved, the benching works for the cup of Havdalah as well. Yudal, Kosar Rabbi Beis Yosef received test. Beis Yosef writes, "Im rotza liyosol techav Havdalah." If you want to eat immediately after Havdalah, tzarich lizor shlo yavi lechem l'shulchan kodem Havdalah. You have to be careful not to bring bread to the table for Havdalah. If you did, poreis l'mapa mechasei, you got to cover it up. Because chita comes before geffen in the pasuk. So too. But tzarich lagdimo im lo yichasenu. It's going to have to go to the bracha on the bread first if he doesn't cover it. End quote. They don't move on. Arukh HaShulchan doesn't like this. Kiddush where you can make kiddush on bread. Both says it makes sense that the bread is, so to speak, embarrassed because it should be used for kiddush. But Havdalah where you can't make Havdalah on bread and you must make Havdalah before you eat. What kind of embarrassment is there involved? Mishnah Berurah says, nevertheless, since, of course, obvious answer, since normally you would have to do bread first, so therefore it's a denigration to the bread that the wine comes first. But let's see what the Arukh HaShulchan says. So he says that is the boshes, that you can't make Havdalah on it. The bread is always superior to wine. And now wine is superior to it. There's evidence of this for Shachris. The Ganka Aim Kachma Pas, where you don't make a kiddush on bread. Come, certainly also a mapa prusak. Marzam Reshtim Beites, as we learned some Resh Beites, you have to have a cloth over it. On Shabbos is old time. When on Shabbos is additional reason to cover the bread, Zechel Amon, commemorating the Mon, Kamash Gosam Sim Reish Ainal. Achanu Topsin Lichatam Boshes, but we take as the primary reason of the embarrassment of bread as being usurped by wine. For right and the evidence for that is that where there's no wine, you don't cover the bread. Moshe Gosam Sim Reis Sadakav Sopsi Bud Ayin Sham. Tesva. Kaim Lam B'Psachim. We have a halacha which we learn in Masechet Pesachim that Tam Mavdil, that even though you made Havdalah, you still, even though you tasted before Havdalah, you still should go on to make Havdalah afterwards. Okay? Even though you're not supposed to eat for Havdalah, nevertheless, if you forgot and did eat, or feel amazing, or you even ate deliberately for Havdalah, low of the Havdalah, you don't lose the Havdalah, and Mavdil Acharkach, when you make Havdalah afterwards. For me, Somebody didn't make Havdalah after Shabbos is over, he can continue and make Havdalah at any time up to and including Tuesday. Mishnah Berurah says, nevertheless, Chuli Alma agreed that l'chadchila you should make Havdalah on Sunday because reason makdim mitzvos. And besides that, it's also tea before you make Havdalah. So since he has the capacity to make Havdalah, he has to make Havdalah before he begins eating. So the continuing on here in the Arukh HaShulchan, this is actually still a quote from the Gemara, I guess, from Pesachim, that because these 3 days are still connected to the Shabbos before, from here on in, you don't make Havdalah anymore. All of them learn the Gemara that way. Kosav Rambam, and also the Rambam writes a Perchav Test Ayin Sham. Aval Girsa says HaGoinim, but the Girsa of the Goinim in the Gemara is different. Shebi Atur is brought them to Rak B'Yom Rishon Layachol Avdil. You only have Sunday. You don't have till Tuesday. V'lo Achar Kein and not afterwards. Chem the Girsa Sarif. L'Fanei Barif Advarim Tmuim. The Rif seems to contradict himself. He called him Kosav Kol Hayom. Initially he wrote all the entire day. Besides of Kosav Ad Yom Shlishi, in the end he wrote until Tuesday. Ayin Sham. So that seems to be contradictory. Tez Zayin. Upashul Lamad Dilamachar Ad Yom Shlishi. And no matter how long you can go and make Havdalah, all you can do is make a bar priagafen and mavdil. Not the bracha. B'samim v'lo pirkas bar merish. No the bracha bar merish. Ein lam shaychus rak motzei Shabbos. They are only relevant on motzei Shabbos. V'lo kasem b'hag. The harder mean on tam mavdil, that which it says if you taste, you can still make Havdalah. Hani mekshiv the motzei Shabbos. That's why make Havdalah on motzei Shabbos. Mekshiv the machar, but he make Havdalah tomorrow. Eino elok. Well, I guess if you come then to make Havdalah the next day, eino ela. It only works if you did not taste already after Shabbos. But if you tasted, you can't make Havdalah the following day. If you were to say, you certainly can't make Havdalah till Tuesday, according to our version. To rest, what's the difference whether it's the Motzei Shabbos or any of the subsequent days? Elias 19 year old Arukh HaShulchan wants to answer the Shabbat. The Bag holds the Kshein Lo Ma'al Avdil Motzei Shabbos, when he has nothing on Mikdash to make Havdalah on Motzei Shabbos, Mutar Lechol, he's allowed to eat. Came with Simon Rosham that Meimak Shloel Avdil Lo Mataynis Ad Lemachar, and since we find that a Meimar, when he didn't have what to make Havdalah on, he kept the tinus up until the next day. Lama Sakein, why did he do this? El Mishum Dimaya Ochel. It must be that because he would have eaten. He couldn't have made Havdalah the next day. So therefore, because he wanted to make Havdalah the next day, he didn't eat all of Motzei Shabbos. V'yesh says, V'yesh to be a time to explain the reason for this. The Be'emes, in truth, ain't no move on, it's not understanding Mashach B'yom Rishon, the Kol Shkein B'yom Sheni V'Shlishi, L'mar Mavdil M'Kodesh L'Chol. How is the nusach of Hamavdil appropriate for any subsequent day, right? There should only be a program Motzei Shabbos when the Havdalah takes place. V'alok finds Talik Hekdesh, Kodesh, the holy. This is long gone. Kfar Chol, it's been a mundane day for a while. Elim Eno Ochel Mitzara Havdalah. But but if you're not eating on account of Havdalah, Havli day aratok and kodesh l'davar. The little the kedusha remains, and that you can't eat. Kodesh avar, the sanctity which passed, ikavto milacho, impedes it from eating. But if you ate mashach u'marta mavdil kodesh chol, there's no affinity anymore to the Shabbos, and therefore there's no way to make a mavdil kodesh chol. The bishlam would say Shabbos or Melazman. Would say Shabbos, even if you taste it, you can say it because that's the right time to say it. But already on Sunday, time has passed, unless he didn't eat. That's a nice lumdus to explain the Bahag. Me, however, we pass in that you make Havdalah till Tuesday, even if you taste it. Shekain das ro poskin, it's a ro poskin hold. Into whether he can eat before he makes the dough the next day. His bar b'simim race side above ayin sham b'sifu dalit. It's been explained previously. Preferably not. Yud Zayin, because of Rabbeinu Ramad Mishmi Sana Shloshim Shloshim Leilos, somebody who's fasting for 3 days and 3 nights, Yishma Avdol Mechem Shir Avdol from others. Mechem Etzav, there are no others by him. Yochel Avdil Mibod Yom Shabbos, he should make Avdol during the daytime on Shabbos. Velishtos, and drink and only afterwards to accept the tinus. The Shabura says that he can make Havdalah himself and give others to drink. That's another Eitzah. But the Magen Avraham doesn't like that because that is, I guess, not condoned generally unless there is truly extenuating circumstances. So therefore, it's best to make Havdalah on Shabbos itself. The Shabura also writes that when Havdalah on Shabbos himself, of course, it has to be after Plaga Mincha, and it's probably Daven Marev before you make that Havdalah even on Shabbos itself. Now, the Arukh HaShulchan comes and explains the Rama as follows. If you fast for 1 or 2 days, you know from whom to your Havdalah, you make Havdalah on your own after you finish your fasting on the Tuesday. If you fast 3 days of Razman, it's already after Tuesday. Because you have to make Havdalah during the day on Tuesday, not after nightfall. However, even if he's fasting 1 day, he must kill Tainus Motzei Shabbos. He begins to fast at night on Motzei Shabbos. Motzei Shabbos, and he has from who to hear Havdalah Motzei Shabbos. His man is best to hear it in its proper time. And to make Havdalah on his own after Tainus is over. Obviously, it's better to do Bismano than later. The English already came with the Abdul Kavil the Tainus Ilave. You can't ask since once he makes Havdalah. The Tainus takes effect. Not sure what he's asking here. English already came with the Abdul Kabil Tainus to love it. Maybe he makes Havdalah on Shabbos. I guess so. Saying you may have done on Shabbos, so then you makabel the Tainus on Shabbos. You won't be able to eat. He says no. That's my mandatory fast. Love Tainus, Shekibah Small 9 times, you accept upon yourself. The Kibbah Bofen said, because then the Kabbalah is accepted according to the parameters you decide to accept, and therefore you can accept it starting after Shabbos is absolutely over. V'dafka, specifically where he was accepted to fast from the beginning of the night. But generally speaking, the default is that a private tinus does not start from evening. Because you go after the language of people. And shame tinus erev. People call it tinus from morning to night. They don't include the night before. Yurches. Somebody is fasting 2 days straight from Motzei Shabbos until Monday night. and if he didn't hear Abdullah, he doesn't follow the advice of Arukh HaShulchan to listen to Abdullah. Yavdil us, and he makes Abdullah Monday night. Kumush Kosavnu. Yichal us Rosh Hashanah. What happens if that's Rosh Hashanah that night? Lo Yamar Kiddush Abdullah Al Kos Echad. Not say Kiddush Abdullah in one cup. Then we say Kiddush Al Kos Echad. You don't say two Kiddushos on one cup. Below Dam Yom Tishcham Motzei Shabbos, not comparable to Yom Tishcham Dam Motzei Shabbos, because there are some Kedusha Achasi. There it's one Kedusha. In other words, they're both holy. The Arei Sharei of Avdollah made them ben Kodesh LeKodesh. With the distinction between Kedusha and Kedusha. Avalo b'Avdollah the Chol in Kiddush Yontif. But you can't make Avdollah of a weekday, normal Avdollah, in Kodesh LeChol with a Kiddush of Yontif. It's contradictory. It's a stira. L'chein Yikdash L'Kodesh Kos Echad, you should make Kiddush in one cup. Achar Yavdil Kos Acher. Then make Avdollah another cup. If he doesn't have wine, Mekar Shal Pas V'Ochel, make Kiddush on the bread and eat. Charam Avdil Shechel, they make Avdollah on beer. But after Sulachol Karam Avdollah, even now to be before Avdollah, it's not possible in any other way. Or you can alternatively you can make the Kiddush on beer as well. It's best to listen to your Kiddush from another before you make Havdalah, then to make your own Havdalah afterwards. Bielach writes it's not clear if you can make Havdalah here, because how can you say Mavdim and Kodesh L'Chol? It's actually Rosh Hashanah already, right? So it's and it can't say Mavdim and Kodesh, but that's not the bracha from Motzei Shabbos. So our Mishnah Berurah leans with Tzarech here how Bichlal can make Havdalah in these circumstances. And I can't imagine this ever happened in the course of human history. You test. Also, Asas Malacha Kerem Havdalah, now to work before Havdalah. Kachim V'Chazar B'Shabbos. Also, Adam Lasos Chafos Kerem Shavdil. You can't be involved in your personal needs or activities before you make Havdalah. Ayin Sham. Need deal with tefillah. If you made Havdalah already davening, answer Shavdil Kos Yom Melach. You don't have to make Havdalah and Kos on a cup in terms of doing work. Umutzah Asas Malacha Gam Kerem Havdalah Ala Kos. You can do work even before Havdalah in the cup. What do you have to do malacha even before davening itself? Say he will separate between the holy and the mundane without a bracha. The chayin who das Rashi sham, and this is also the opinion of Rashi there. Because it's only for a memorial, just to I'm not sure I translate memorial bond. I guess not doing malacha is just the hecker that you're supposed to make Havdalah. But that's what should be bracha. You're supposed to make a bracha if you haven't done yet. Shema bracha to Hashem Mavdim Mekodesh L'Chol. V'chein meforish b'Bahag. V'gam das Rosh opinions also. Da'av b'shem deal b'tfil b'rotel sos malacha. If you did make Havdalah not done davening, but now you want to make a bracha do malacha, so you bracha to Hashem Mavdim Mekodesh L'Chol. You have to make a full bracha. Oh, no malchus here, but you have to make a mention of shame. But the minhag of the widespread minhag is like Rashi. Gam below Azkoras Hashem. You don't have to mention the name of Hashem, and Gam Shivdil B'Avdalah. If you made Havdalah, so you don't need an additional statement. But Rabbeinu B'Yosef see if you loyvi rakdas Rashi. Says only beings Rashi came which no, because that's a minhag. Especially since it's something which is Rabbanan. But God must chorus Hashem yesh sabik Shem Shamayim Batala. Also mention the name of Hashem. There's a question of Shem Shamayim for not. Okay, and the chosim nogu Rashi. Therefore, don't protest. People do like Rashi and don't mention Shem Hashem. Yonah Shchalios Motzei Shabbos, and Yonah comes out Motzei Shabbos. Omer Mavdil Ben Kodesh LeKodesh. You can say Baruch Mavdil Kodesh Kodesh in order to do Ochel Nefesh Malacha. Avolecho and heter b'zad shavdil kos, but to eat is still no heter until you have the on the coast. So it's interesting because I believe that we say Baruch Hamavdim in Kodesh Chol. Though Arukh HaShulchan doesn't sound like you have to do it that way. Maybe something's coming up, but doesn't seem that way. Pei, Chof, Yesh Lemol Lanoshim She'enam Ispalos Marav. Women who don't say Marav, Emri Tachan Tanu. They don't say Tachan Tanu as a result. Because Abdullah Shalkos Osmalacha. They want to do Malacha before Abdullah on the cup. Shemru Amavdim Koshachol. They should say this. Decries that his assumption that women are not careful about this. They ignite fire on Motzei Shabbos for Abdullah. Why? How can they possibly do this? So he has a limud chus. Yesh Lomar, it says Shesam Chol they rely on Mashkas Rabbeinu Ramah B'Sifyud, and what the Ramah wrote, Yesh Omrim, the Kol Zem Malach Gemara Kon Osei Borei. All the, when you need to say Baruch Hamavdim Mikosh Shechol or Hamavdim Mikosh Shechol, it's when you want to do malacha, complete malacha like writing or weaving. Avalokas there ba'al motzar b'shush l'sush ain't circles that. But lighting a candle or even taking something out from one rosh to another rosh, you don't need this. It's a bit arbitrary. But he says, that's why there's a minute to light candles in shul immediately when the Kakila says Baruch. The Shibura says to Beis Yosef, don't like lighting candles immediately after the Baruch. And the B'chlal, they don't like the distinction between malachos, which was kind of surprising me as well. And also, it's possible that the Yesh Omrim is only makel after Havdalah in davening, not after Baruch Hamavdim Kol Shechol. But we are makel after Baruch Hamavdim Kol Shechol. But we don't distinguish between Kodesh. Well, let me put it this way: the limud chus he has on women, we try not to accept that, and we ask women to say Baruch Hamavdim Mikodesh L'chol. Anybody's not sure. But the primary, there's all a quote. There's a quote from the Ramah, the last part. The primary halacha is like the first opinion that you have to say Baruch Hamavdim. So also the Arukh HaShulchan joins the Mishnah Berurah in the chorus and says, why should we treat one malacha and another malacha?